What's up, Synergy family? Welcome to another amazing Wellness Wednesday. So happy for you to join me today. It is April 29th, 2026, and it is a beautiful day out, and I want to share some of that beauty with you. Today, we are going to be talking about mindset. Specifically, we're continuing our mindset series here. I want to talk in this specific session about the peritherapy mindset. That means the before, during, and after, immediately around the therapy. So, how do you set your mind going into the therapy for the best results? What is your mindset throughout the whole process as you are relieving that pain that has maybe been there for so long? How do you break out of that cycle, not just physically with any devices, but mindset wise? How do you align with that therapy to make sure that if you're going to get results, which we've seen thousands of times with the Synergy devices, but no matter what you're trying, no matter what you're using, how do you make sure that if it is actually working, your mind is going right along with it? And then post therapy, how do you make sure that that continues along on your pain relief journey? So I'm going to talk a little bit about my perspective as somebody who might be doing the therapy, and then as a patient, because I am one as well, receiving therapy. How do I set myself up for success? How do the other people, the thousands of customers who have had amazing results with the Synergy biomodulators, with the biotransducers, what do they typically tell us that they're doing to maximize their results with the therapy devices? So let's start out as from a therapist perspective, from somebody who is putting it on somebody else. How do they show up? How do they make sure that whoever is coming to them for that relief, for that boost in their health, how do they make sure that the people that they're seeing get the best results? Well, as you notice, I'm a little animated. I tend to speak fast. I want to make sure I deliver as much massive value as possible in these sessions together so that you can take that and better yourself, better your health, better your mindset, all of those pieces. And so this type of energy works really well in this environment. At least I hope it does. And I can speak this way through the screen here and get results because it is motivational. That is the tone of these videos. However, if I bring the same level of high energy to somebody who is looking to relax, do you think that I am going to get the best result? Probably not. If I go in, oh, you're going to get so much pain relief, just sit down, enjoy, and I start hyping up my nervous system, which is then translating to their nervous system, how easy will it be for them to relax? It won't, right? Alternatively, if I showed up here and I walked on screen and I started talking really slow and said, you know, I'm going to talk about motivation today and how you can change your life and your health. Is this going to grab any attention? It might grab some attention, but probably not in the right way, right? So, situationally, as a therapist, I want to get the person that I'm working with into the right mindset for whatever it is that is happening. Does that make sense? So, translating that to your mindset going into any type of therapy, it's the same thing. There are going to be times when you're going to want to be pumped. You're going to want to use that energy, motivate others, motivate yourself to do things, to be high energy. There's also going to be times where you're going to want to relax. Take a deep breath, step back, calm everything down so that if there is an actual challenge going on inside of you, you can focus all of that energy towards that problem instead of exuding it outwardly. Does that make sense? So, first, what I would say to prepare to go into it, I know a lot of us have tried all kinds of things. What is great about the Tenant biomodulator, all of this energy devices, is that you notice something physically when they get on you. However, if your mindset is such that it's going to be something scary or something that is just another device that I've tried them all, or you are thinking, well, how can I multitask? How can I get this done while I'm doing other things? Split my attention. Then those things are going to work against you. If instead you say, listen, I've tried a lot of things and this one is going to work for me. This one, I'm going to notice something. I'm going to notice something different. I'm going to align it with my body, with my mind, and see what happens. I'm going to have no real expectations. I'm going to let it do the work. I'm going to just relax into it and see what happens. And when I do start to notice something, I'm going to focus on the positive. I'm going to notice that slight relief in pain. I'm going to notice that different sensation, perhaps, in my body. I'm going to start to pick up on cues that I'm moving in the right direction. I'm not looking for the lottery. I'm not looking to solve all my problems in one session, although that has happened, if I'm being honest. I am going to notice improvement. I'm going to set my mind that, yes, I am going to get something out of this. And this is just the beginning. This is going to continue to work for me as I go. So I have that mindset going in to the entire process. What do you think the outcome is going to be just on that preparation? Just on thinking that going into the therapy versus anything else, any type of fear, any type of this isn't going to work for me, dropping those and adding the focus on what is going to improve. I'm going to trust the process. That mindset going in immediately before the therapy helps tremendously. I've seen it over and over again. Then you enter into the therapy. What happens next? Well, if you are in a confusing or loud or distracting place, then that is going to take away from the therapy. So you want the setting to be as best as possible, knowing that I've used it in chaotic type of environments, but I'll maybe put some headphones in. I'll do what I can to make sure that I am getting the best therapy possible, given the surroundings. If you can, quiet room, relaxing seat, calming music, whatever helps you relax more broadly, you can do that. But if you can't do those things, what can you do to enhance the environment? Like I said, music is great. Deep breaths are something you can always do no matter what. Closing your eyes is perhaps a good idea, unless you're driving, of course, something like that. You don't want to close your eyes in that case. What can you do to make sure that the things within your control are solid? And then how does that translate into your mindset? I'm going to tell myself that any sensations I'm getting into my body are good for me instead of different fearing. I don't know what it's really doing. The Synergy devices have been used on thousands of people over the past 20 years. They have a proven track record of success with almost no side effects over that entire period and very little contraindications. So you're safe there. know that a different sensation is not always something to fear. It is something to welcome, trust the process, trust how it's done, and know that it is working immediately and working as you are done with the therapy, continues to increase your cellular makeup and allowing your body to heal itself from the inside out. The device isn't doing that. It's giving your body a chance to do that. And knowing that as you go helps a lot. I know a lot of us have experienced other things that buzz you that are electronic or a red light or something along those lines that perhaps you haven't gotten much results out of. This is very different and how it's designed, how it's structured, how it interacts with your body. You can go check out the other videos on that if you want to dive into the science. Just know that it is different and trust the process, experience the difference for yourself, and align your body with that focus on the positive. These things are helping me. These things are for my benefit. These things are allowing my body to do what it does naturally, which is to rejuvenate, replenish, recover, and make me back to where I can function properly without that pain. That is the end goal there. So just know that that is happening and truly believe it in your mind, and the therapy will be that much more effective for you. And then as you are ending the therapy, as everything is wrapping up, tell yourself that this was amazing and that it's just the start. I am not expecting miracles, but I am also expecting a little improvement. I'm going to focus on the improvement. I'm not going to focus on that pain anymore. The pain is there, but it's secondary now. I'm focusing on that improvement. Oh, yes, I got better. I can't wait to do this again. Oh, yes, this is going well for me, even if it's 5% improvement, which it almost never is. It's almost universally much bigger than that. But even if it's a slight improvement, notice that improvement, do it again, stay consistent with it, and you will continue to improve on and on and on as your body gets that foundation layer, that electrical layer that allows it to integrate with all the other pieces that much more easily, that much more readily, and lets it stick, not just in and out, but actually building the health back into your body instead of in one door and out the other. So that is why, as the going back to the therapy piece and how we structure things, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get into that mindset and stay in that mindset. That's why we suggest in our daily practice that you do that autonomic nervous system reset first. It will remove that tension if because positive thinking is great and all, but you still have to think about it. You still have to do those things. It sounds easy from my point of view now to tell you it's simple. This is all you need to do. But when you're actually in it, when you've been in pain for so long, like I was very skeptical at first when I started using these devices. I thought it wasn't going to work for me. And that probably held back my results on the first couple times that I tried it. Even so, it was amazing. So that's why I'm a true believer in the Synergy devices specifically. But if I am trying anything else out, now I take this mindset with me and I am less skeptical and more open to receiving something that is weird, unusual, different for me. And I've been getting better results as a result of that mindset shift. But we want to make it as easy as possible for anyone who hasn't gone through what I've gone through and is just starting out from the very beginning to relax, get into that mindset of healing so that the therapy is that much more effective. And so the ANS reset primary releases that tension physically so that your mind can then align with that. Because physiology, the way that we're moving our bodies, the way that our body is behaving at the time, tends to alter the mindset. It doesn't have to be the other way around. It doesn't have to be mindset first, where we're conditioning our body. That helps as well. That can work if you're really focused on the mindset. But if you are sitting back and you're tired and you're slumped and you stand up with your shoulders back, take a deep breath, what automatically happens to the mindset? You start to think differently. You start to be more relaxed or encouraged or whatever it is that you want to be. You know how to look depressed. You know that if I'm like this, that I'm not doing so hot. You know that if you put a big smile on your face, it's very hard to think negative thoughts. So when when your physiology leads, that helps the mindset. And so we physically do that with the ANS reset, and then you are able to get into that mindset that much easier. And then from there, just let, like I've said multiple times during this episode, trust the process. See what happens to you. Be curious. Like my kids, they're always curious. They're always asking why. Whereas some adults, they tend to get jaded, especially over time, with negative experiences, that anything is actually for them, that anything is going to move the needle. So just be curious, be playful about it, and focus on the positive, focus on any type of improvement, see that pain drifting away. And in other videos, we're going to talk about long-term mindset, what happens after therapy, what happens in between therapies, what should you do to not only help with your pain, but help with anything else that you want to do in your life that will necessarily make that pain go away, because now it's fading into the distance. It's in the background. It is the past you. You're moving forward into something great. If you have any questions on this, anything else that I've talked about during Wellness Wednesday, this one, any other one, set up an appointment with me. The link is down in the description. We also have the Foundation of Health Summit coming up in June 6th and 7th. I'm super excited about that. We have some tweaks, some improvements to help with that mindset piece, to help get you in the best health of your life. So sign up for that if you haven't already. If you don't have the link, reach out to me, alex@synergy.us, and I can help get that link for you. Next week, we are going to talk about a little different type of topic, but it still centers around mindset, which is hallucinogenics, mushrooms, LSD, these kinds of things. They're becoming a bit more mainstream. Now, I'm not going to proselytize at you and say you should go do these things, but I want to talk about why they're becoming so popular, what the mechanism of action is in your body, and how an energy device like the Tennant Biomodulator does things similarly but different, and why these things work in your body. And it's been a really cool process researching all of this to share it with you. So I'm excited about that. And then the week after, we're going to go back into more pure mindset type stuff where, like I said, what happens when you're not doing therapy? What happens once the pain starts to fade out, and that is no longer your primary focus, which is the goal, I think, for most of you. I don't want to focus on the pain, and yet it's familiar. It's something that I can cling on to, but now I'm letting it go. What happens next? How do you focus now that you have some additional bandwidth in your mind for different things? So we're going to talk about that and bringing you beyond the pain, so to speak. So next week, hallucinogenics, what happens in your mind as those things take hold? How is it similar and different from electrical work? And then the week after, we're going to talk about post pain, what you get into, and how to shape your mind for that. Thank you guys so much for being with me today. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, reach out, link in the description below if you want to talk to me directly. And I will see you next Wednesday. Stay energized, my friends. Have a good one.